Oh, that's what you look like, Todd.
Again.
Welcome back. We are leaning in today to today's episode of Funniest People You've Never Heard of. I'm Peter. This is Todd.
Hey, everyone.
Guess what? Today we have a fantastic guest. It is the extraordinary, fantastic actor, wonderful stand-up, and funny person, Brittany Ross. We talk about some travel. We talk about mosquito tips. We talk. We go all across the globe.
Lead with the mosquito tips.
I mean, hey, yeah. Everyone's got a hobby.
Yeah, it's summertime. You might be getting bit. Stay tuned. You'll get some solutions.
She shares so much with her about her early life traveling to South America and Alaska and Scotland.
Yeah, she had. I got to lean back for this because it blew me away. She has a great story, crazy story, living different places. Her cheerleading stories are epic.
She talks about all the bones she's broken, and she loves pain.
Yeah, you realize like she has no fear on stage because she's dealt with some of the craziest shit in her cheerleading career, and all the BTS, the behind the scenes of cheerleading. I need to make a reality show about that.
Competitive cheerleading, yeah.
Yeah, the 27-year-old who's still on the team, I don't know about that.
Exactly. And you know what? If you're looking to do your own podcast, the only solution is to record here at Third Wheel Podcast Studio. Big shout out to Third Wheel in the heart of Los Angeles.
Yeah,
we
love it here. There's no pit stains. Look, good AC.
Oh, hey, how about that?
No mosquitoes. What else do you need?
Microphones, chairs, they got it all here.
Right. Yeah.
And you know what?
And Caden, shout out to Caden,
yes.
our engineer.
I like Caden.
Oh, fuck, we woke him up.
People are saying a lot of things about Caden, and they're mostly good.
They're mostly good, and the ones that aren't true.
Yeah, exactly. So, Caden, could you run for office? All right, great.
He's nodding. All right.
He's
got my vote.
We got a thumbs up. Yeah, we need somebody that's less talkative. I think that might be in whatever office there is. And
I like an engineer who talks the whole time we're trying to record a podcast. That's when you know you've got a good situation.
Well, if you want to talk and put your money where your mouth is and make great merch for your business, the only place to go is BAMCO.
BAMCO is a great merchandise company. They're going to hook you up. If you have a company, a business, you need to get your name out there. Go to bamco.net.
BAMCO.
And you throw me off my rhythm.
I zoned out, man.
You go to bamco.net and what you need.
BAMCO.
Everything you need at bamco.net.
BAMCO.
Go to bamco.net.
BAMCO.
And everything you need for your business, hats, hoodies, any merchandise you might want to use to promote your business, you can find there at a good price. And tell them we sent you. It won't do shit, but do it anyways.
Tell them we sent you. And you know what? If somebody told you about this podcast, you tell 3 more people. And you know what? Of those 3 people, tell 2 of those people about our exclusive content on Patreon. That's right. We are all over Patreon. Go over there for exclusive content, some more in-depth conversations, and just overall solid jams.
Yeah, patreon.com/funniestpeoplepod. $5 tier gets you bonus, exclusive content from every episode. You won't regret it. And if you do, you cancel. So fuck off.
Todd, you're not yourself when you haven't eaten. Here's a Snickers. All right, we're going to get some lunch. But before that, let's check out this interview with the fantastic and funny Brittany Ross. Thanks so much for tuning in today. This is Funniest People You've Never Heard of. I'm your host, Peter. Todd's in the outfield. And today, our fantastic guest is actress extraordinaire, fantastic stand-up comedian, and just all-around wonderful person and funny person, the one and only Brittany Ross. Brittany, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. We don't have to be so official. We were just talking about houses. Yeah. If you, what is it? Price is not an issue. One feature that you could have in a home of yours, what would it be? Are we talking like spinning bed? Are we talking like a shower with like 8 shower heads? Are we talking Olympic sized pool? Are we talking like a Mark Hoppus pool that's like shaped like genitals? Like, what are you doing?
Gosh, I feel like I would go real practical. I want this is what I actually want. I want a
tell
house.
Santa Claus.
Santa. Yeah. Disney World in Florida has 0 mosquitoes. And I went on a rabbit hole
How is
about
that?
this
Please.
one time because my husband was out of town and I have to stay home with my kids at night when he's out of town.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I was a single person, I guess I just would be a mosquito blogger because that's basically all I did once my kids went to bed was
Yeah.
research mosquito like solves because I can't stand the mosquitoes. I want this. Disney World has a whole lab devoted to mosquitoes.
Okay.
They have chickens at Disney World so they can tell if the chickens get a certain kind of mosquito bite, if it has any kind of virus or something.
Okay.
And Disney World is in the middle of a swamp and there are no mosquitoes there.
Yeah. How
so
is
they
that?
figured out how to like, they have all these things that they have this whole system. They have like, they spray it all, they do everything all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
They spend like millions of dollars on it.
To keep it mosquito proof, and that's what you
Yeah.
want for your home.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you know what it is? Do you know what they're doing, or is
They
it
have
it's
like
a series
there's
of things?
like okay, so this is what I tried for my house. I
Yeah.
tried these bucket things that you put like this kind of solution in the bucket and the mosquitoes drown in it.
Okay.
I shaved up this is so interesting.
The
When
great
I
part
was
is like you
spring
find
soap-
joy. It's like I've killed all the mosquitoes.
No, I just was like,
and I
okay.
count them, and I'm like,
They are the worst. So
That one's still
my
alive.
parents live in the valley. I don't know
Yeah,
where your
that's
house
I live
is.
in the
Yeah,
valley,
it's
and we moved there. And this first
terrible.
summer we moved there, I was like, can't wait to be outside all the time. And
The
2
mosquito
summers
punch.
ago,
Did they get your ankles? Is it
so
were those
bad.
was it the ankle biter
They were getting
mosquitoes?
us like everywhere.
Oh.
Last year was a little better, but I ended up ordering these things that they wouldn't even ship to LA. So I ordered them to Texas where my mom lives, and she brought them out.
Because it's like bad for the environment and
guess.
California.
welcome back to the show. We're here with Britt Ross, the mosquito punisher. Okay, so wait, Todd, if you could have anything in your home, like
Yeah.
price is not an option, what would it be?
Two ideas come to mind. One, a bowling alley, a bowling lane, like two lane bowling situation,
cool.
like Kingpin. Ever since the movie Kingpin, I've dreamt of that.
Oh,
Or more heartfelt would be like some type of place to keep like a lot of dogs, like 30 dogs, and like a couple chimps.
Todd, we're not judging you. This is a great idea.
Yeah, the
right?
dogs. I would, my wife and I love dogs. We'd
The
love to
chimps, I
save a
don't
bunch.
know. You could do the dogs.
But in my dream, the chimp is like he cleans the house,
Yeah, that's
he
cool.
cooks. Yeah.
Did you watch Chimp Crazy?
No, but I know that those stories usually don't end well. So
You gotta watch it. It's so
Yeah.
good. You gotta watch it. It's crazy.
Really?
Chimp crazy.
What's new for
right
you?
there in the title.
What's new for you? Like, is there something that you're watching right now, or is there like an old show? Like, did you just discover Seinfeld?
I watch a lot of Shark Tank.
Okay, great. Okay, what's your okay?
I like wait
yeah.
for an episode of Shark Tank to come out.
Okay, hit camera 3 here with your Shark Tank pitch for an idea.
Oh, for an idea? Okay. Hey, Sharks. Today, so I definitely want to be the acting coach on Shark Tank as well because people's pitches are like, hey, Sharks, today. They're just so intense. I'm like, just be chill. Like, chill out.
Yeah, speak it.
So that's my first pitch.
Normal, yeah.
Sharks. Okay, hey, Sharks. So this is one of my top inventions that I've thought of. I think that, well, as a woman, we brush our hair at least twice a day if you don't want to get tangles. You get a lot of hair buildup in your brush and you have to clean it out, and it's a pain to clean it out, and you put your brush in the drawer, and if you don't get all the hairs, then you have hair in your drawer, and it's a whole thing. So I want to have a brush. It comes, you buy like a 10-pack. Say this is the brush.
Yeah.
So the handle has a little thing that snaps into it that goes over the bristles, and it snaps in. You leave that on.
Yeah.
You brush your hair. You pop it out. All the hair comes out.
All at once.
Wow.
Just dump it out.
I love that.
Then you pop back on.
I love that.
Good to go.
And you could refill that like once a month, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
you could probably don't even need a refill. It could probably just be a whole one thing built in together.
I love that idea.
Thanks.
That's so fun. And for a guy that doesn't wash or brush his hair, I would use it.
Great.
I could start. That was
Great.
going to encourage me to start.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my Shark Tank pitch.
Okay.
Ready? A beanbag chair that's a toilet. Imagine how comfortable. Imagine how comfortable.
Okay.
Right? You just sink right in.
Yeah.
I'm spending hours on the toilet. I don't know about you. I'm spending hours a day.
already,
Yeah.
or if you had a beanbag chair.
Oh, if I had a beanbag chair, yeah.
You don't have to be nice to
be.
Peter just because he's the host. You
No,
can-
it's a
you
good
can-
idea, Todd.
What
I
do
have
they
good
on Shark
ideas.
Tank? What do they say when they pass? Are they like rude about it, or do they just say no?
Sometimes they're rude about it. Sometimes they'll just be like one guy, Mr. Wonderful, is like, this is the worst idea I've ever heard. Like, pass. He probably would. He might be into it.
Yeah.
I'm not into like toilet potty, like gross. I'm not like into that stuff. So
Right. I mean, yeah, but where do you?
Grosses me out.
But what do you do to escape your children?
this.
Okay. See, I'm like, I escape the world. Like, I sit down, I'm scrolling, I'm reading a magazine. If there's a little refrigerator in there next to my beanbag chair, so be it.
Anyone else tired of buying bridesmaid dresses for all your dad's weddings? My dad likes to get married, but he loves to get divorced. His last divorce, he told me word for word, it's sad because she was loving my life there for a bit. Okay? He's been married 3 times, divorced 3 times. Like, how does he get all these women, right? He buys them all boob jobs, all 3 of his wives. And I am his daughter, his flesh and blood, and still waiting for boobs, Dad. If it looks like I have boobs right now, I just have a 2-month-old, so this is all breast milk and tears. That's it. Guys, I actually brought my dad to Vegas to babysit my baby. My dad's with my baby, my 2-month-old right now, which is perfect. They're at the strip club because they both love boobs. They're living it up. I've been married for 6 years, or according to my dad, I am almost done. And
What were those bracelets that you could put little charms on them?
charm bracelets?
Was that really the name of it? Okay. Did you? I mean,
I had a charm bracelet.
yeah. What were your charms? Do you have any fun charms on there?
They were probably all cheerleaders.
Oh, nice.
Megaphone, pom-poms.
Nice. You were a cheerleader?
Yeah, I was a
My gosh.
I went to college on a cheerleading scholarship.
Did you really?
wow.
3-time national champion college cheerleader, guys.
Holy
At
cow.
what school?
I went to school in Hawaii. I went to a school called Hawaii Pacific.
Whoa.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
How do you get recruited for? So obviously you were on your like high school cheer team.
I was
and-
on like a competitive cheer. I was on my high school team, but high school teams cheer for like football players and basketball and
Right.
stuff. And competitive cheerleaders are athletes, and we cheer for ourselves.
Right.
So
yeah.
like
nice.
I was on a competitive team. I was a gymnast for a long time.
A lot of people will hear cheerleader and think, "Oh wow, Dallas Cowboy cheerleader is like the pinnacle." But you're talking about
No, they're dancers.
right? Yes, exactly,
Right.
exactly. And there's a clear distinction.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is happening like in a gym, like a little closer to like what we see every 4 years, like Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so, what's that experience like?
It's intense. I mean,
Yeah.
I was on a scholarship. Our team motto was losing hurts worse because we all were like broken. It has more catastrophic injuries than anything.
goodness.
I've broken so many things. I've had concussions. I've knocked people's teeth out, and you just keep going. I've
wait.
tumbled with broken wrists for a month because I refused to go to the doctor.
Good.
It was my whole life. Like I thought I was going to do that forever, and you actually can because nobody really graduates college because the end of the line for competitive cheerleaders is college. It's like our Olympics.
I see.
And it's not regulated by the NCAA. So you can stay in as long as you want. So my first stunt partner, I was 18, he was 27 years old.
Whoa.
And he'd like already won nationals like 5 or 6 times.
Cool.
And my sister was 16 in high school, and she was really good, and we got her to be on our team because she just signed up for one band class and like was able to be on the team.
So you were 18, she was 16, and
She's a year younger than me. Yeah,
Okay.
my freshman year, she was a senior, and she was on my team for us. And
wow, that's like a crazy loophole, huh? And so, how many teeth of your partners did you kick out?
2, I think. But
2.
it's just like you are flying 30 feet in the air.
You can't be polite.
Yeah, you're just like hoping they're going to be there to catch you. So you have to trust them a lot. And then I went to University of Houston for a semester. I was
Cool.
living in Texas, and I thought I was going to stay in Texas for school.
Yeah.
But I knew the guy, my boyfriend at the time, was a cheerleader, and he went to school in Hawaii. And Hawaii had like the best team in the country at the time. But I just thought it was too far. And
Okay.
then the coach kept trying to get me to go there, and he's like, just come. And I was like, I don't know. And then I went to visit for Thanksgiving, and he's like, just come, go home, pack, I'll give you a full scholarship, like all this stuff. And I obviously fell in love with
He
Hawaii.
love bombed you. Yeah.
And then so I moved to Hawaii.
Wow, that's amazing, dude.
Yeah, it was cool.
What?
Can I ask
oh,
about this 27-year-old guy? Were people like, oh, this guy is awesome, he's so good at cheerleading? Or were you like, oh,
Todd, you
that's
can't go
weird?
back to college, okay?
No, I want to do like a Van Wilder thing, but for,
yeah.
for-
It's just so common. Like in Houston, nobody. So when I went to University of Houston, I cheered at University of Houston because all of my competitive cheerleading coaches cheered at University of Houston, but none of them really went to school there. We were all just enrolled in this band class. And so there were only 2 of us who were actually in college. The rest of them took this band class, and they're all like way older.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of this weird thing that we all knew. You know, what you do is, and then in Hawaii, people would like, you maintain like whatever GPA you're supposed to have.
Right.
And then after we would win nationals, they would withdraw from their classes. And then you just go back again the next year because you don't want to graduate. It's a diploma is career suicide.
Wow.
oh my God, this is an amazing world that needs to be explored.
That's
know.
incredible. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
you were a flyer. You can still do it if you want. I don't.
I mean, I'm one of the only ones from my team who's not a part of cheerleading somehow still. And I graduated college a long time ago.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that.
Which part?
The graduating.
That I'm so old.
Graduate. No, the
Oh, that I had to
graduating.
graduate?
That you had to graduate.
Well, I graduated because I got a mental block like Simone Biles. And I got, all of a sudden, I went to flip backwards one day, which I'd done my entire life.
Yeah.
And I just stopped in the middle of the air and like fell on my hand. And then I got freaked out about flipping backwards. And I was like, oh my God, my prefrontal cortex matured, which is the part of your mind that's like, don't do this, danger, danger.
yeah.
And I just wouldn't let myself flip backwards. So I pretty much got kicked off my team and I lost my scholarship and I had a semester left.
Wow.
Wow.
So I graduated early and then I was at TGI Fridays like crying to the bartender there and I was like, I don't know what to do with my life. And he's like, I'm in this acting class in the back room of a hair salon. And he told me it was taught by the acting coach from Baywatch. And I was like, maybe I could do that. And then I decided to like go to that class and I moved here to act.
What?
This is what a journey.
That's
Like a-
incredible, dude.
And then I played a cheerleader on TV ever since I got here.
yeah.
I was like, I'm never cheering again. And here we go.
That is great. And I'm, wow, so many people think about, what you do, being an actor and being a stand-up comedian and treat it with so much fear, like fear of public speaking. But imagine if you're flying 30 feet in the air, there's not too much you're going to be afraid of, like you reach this wall, like you just mentioned, where, you have, this like mental block, right? But beyond that, you've faced some wild, crazy injuries, like you said, and also on a daily basis, you're terrifying yourself. Like what's the mental attitude of a cheerleader or like the most successful one that you've seen? And how do you apply that, to your creativity today?
I mean, I definitely think that when I moved here, I was like, well, acting seems easy compared to cheerleading. Like LA, I thought I was like moving to this place where I'm like, one, they're not going to care about my weight and appearance nearly as much in LA as they do in cheerleading. And I was like, two. So I moved here. Like, luckily I feel like I really lucked out because I moved here having like all of that in my past as like a young person where it was like, I don't really care what people think about my appearance and weight and all this stuff. And I moved here when I was 21 as like a young girl to act. And I never had I felt pretty like grounded in myself in that. So it wasn't like pushed around like some people. This place sucks. LA sucks. So, people are mean. And then I don't know. I just feel like cheerleading is this thing where you don't give up and you don't stop and you just keep like pushing. And it definitely instilled that in me a lot. Like
That's
we can do
amazing.
anything if we just keep trying and doing it, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of grit.
Yeah. Some of the toughest people I imagine you've ever met are cheerleaders or, you know.
Yeah. And it's a huge adrenaline rush.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's addicting. So you need to fill it with something else.
What do you fill it with now? Do you just
Well,
drive
that's why I
fast
started doing, I just drive so fast.
and angry?
Kill mosquitoes.
Kill mosquitoes with alcohol bottles. I'm just
Yeah, dude.
No, I do think that the competitiveness of this town is something that is addicting to me. So it feels comforting to me.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
This
You're
town
comfortable in the
is, like,
storm.
It is competitive.
Right.
You have to play the game.
Yeah, you got to play the game.
So I felt like I found another game to play.
Before we move on to that, could you list all of the injuries that you sustained while you were a cheerleader?
I broke both of the growth plates in my wrists. So my wrists have not grown since I was in seventh grade.
Oh.
So I'm a tiny person, but if you like look at my arms, they get like weirdly small at my wrist. Do you see how small my wrist is?
Yeah, look at that.
And I can wear the same bracelet as my baby.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, so cool, right? I've broken my ankle. I've had multiple concussions.
Oof.
I have a question. Have any of your successes in entertainment or like a great performance on stage matched any of those highs from cheerleading of winning a championship?
Like testing for a show or something where you're like back in the day when we used to like actually go in front of people and stuff,
Yeah.
felt very similar
Yeah.
to
Oh,
a
right.
cheerleading competition. Like everybody waiting in the hall, like that we've gone through multiple rounds to get here, and now it's that felt similar. Sometimes these like showcase shows kind of feel similar to competitions to me.
Ooh, yeah. That's great. To
But I
apply
guess-
an athlete's mindset like that is amazing. You were even on stage. We were talking before the show about, last time you were doing like a podcast, you were very pregnant. And you were even doing stand-up while you were pregnant. What was that like?
I think this is where this like weird, insane cheerleading mentality comes into play because I was like, one, I wanted to still feel like a person, you know? Every time I have two kids, so both times I was like, I don't want to just be the pregnant person. Like I need to, for my own mental health, continue on with my own life.
Yes.
And I was like really sick both times. But
During your pregnancy?
But I was like, I have to go. It's the only thing that's going to make me feel better is like making myself go and do a show.
Yeah.
And
cool.
my husband would be like, you should stay. I'm like, the most helpful thing for you to do for me right now would be like, here's your shoes, your bag's in the car, bye. Like just like help me get out the door as
Yeah.
opposed to like talk me out of going.
Right.
Because I'm intense. I'm crazy, a little crazy.
Sure.
My water broke both times, and then I like did my elliptical and then like hung out for a while and then went to the hospital. I mean, like I'm a little off. I know I am.
Is that because you love your routine? You're like, this water breaking really gets in the way of my cardio today.
It's because I have a pretty high pain tolerance. I didn't want to be at the hospital for like a really long time, and I didn't feel anything yet. So it's like, whatever, I don't feel anything yet. So
You're treating delivering this baby like just making the flight at the perfect time. Get into the airport at the perfect time, speed through TSA pre-check, then calling, section D, and you just stroll right in. Is that
Yeah.
what delivering was? Like they sat you down and you're like, you just let it go?
I mean, kind of. I mean,
I love that.
I don't know. The first time I pushed my daughter out like so fast,
Nice.
and she came out really fast because I had already done my elliptical. I woke my husband up in the middle of the night. I was like, I think my water's leaking. I'm gonna go to Equinox right now, and he's like, what? Okay. So then the second time
I
he
love
was
this
like,
guy. I love this guy. He's like,
my poor husband, he's always like, I'm married to like a tiny Tony Robbins. He's just like, I just want to like sleep in the morning. And he's like, I wake up early. I go on a run every day.
good for you.
I don't know.
And
No,
that's
that's
just
good.
natural. You're just like that naturally. You
I
think.
grew up in a gym. I like lived my whole life in a gym. I left school early to go to gymnastics.
Right.
I feel like if my body is not moving in some way, I'm like this close to slapping people in line at the grocery store, I get like, I feel crazy.
Yeah. I can feel that way too if I haven't eaten.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, why am I angry at everybody
yeah.
that's crossing my mind? Oh, I need to eat something. Or, you know, exercise maybe. My goodness. So you go, hey, honey, my water is leaking. It's fine. I'm just going to go to the gym, spray that place down.
He was like, what?
Finish one more episode
So I
of
went
Chim
to
Crazy.
Equinox. Yeah, I did. No, this was the first. Yeah, the first time I had my daughter. Honestly, I was trying to watch this one episode of Shark Tank like the whole time I was in the hospital, like in labor. And then at one point, I was like, I can't watch this anymore. It's painful. And then my son, who I just had, my doctor, had heard this story. Everybody had heard that I had pushed my other daughter out, and
You're a
like,
hospital
so
legend.
fast.
Yeah, yeah.
She's back.
And
She's going to break her own record.
I also, so then I started to feel this pressure, but like I felt like he was starting to, it happened faster this time. And they're like, oh, we need to give you an epidural now. Cause I was like, I think I'm actually like feeling like I think I should have pushed him out, but then they came and like gave me more epidural.
You were like,
shoulda
he's
just,
fully
like,
cooked. He's coming out.
I should have just like pushed him out then, but they numbed me so much more. So my doctor came in the hospital room and she literally, I'm not joking, like kicked the door open. She's like, I'm here. She'd put her hands out like this, like a nurse put gloves on her, and everybody's like, all right, this girl's gonna shoot this baby out so fast. And then I started to get so much anxiety and I felt like I was letting everyone down.
The heat is on. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it took me like almost an hour because I couldn't feel anything.
Oh,
I had to wait
wow.
till I like got less numb. But then I was my whole
Men experience that sometimes
childbirth.
too, if they've had too much
Yeah,
to drink.
yeah. That's how I felt. I felt the pressure of like, this isn't going well. People are,
Right.
people are
Right.
disappointed in my birth right now.
My goodness.
I feel bad for all these people who thought they were going to be out of here in 2 seconds.
Yeah, there were people in the
I
stands.
know someone else
cheering.
needs this room. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah, and then they
There were
had to,
judges like,
that's
give
really
me
what I felt
9.5.
like. I felt like I did bad.
Wow.
I did a bad
yeah.
job.
Oh, but you know, but you did it and you delivered.
Yeah, he's out. He's cute.
Healthy
And
boy.
he's great.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. My goodness.
I eventually did it.
My goodness. Is there something on like your bucket list that you want to do that's like danger heavy?
I don't know. Honestly, like as I get older, I get a little freaked out about some of the things I did in my past. Do you ever have that where you think of something you did and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that?
Ooh, yeah.
Every time we record an episode.
Yeah, you're just like, how did I survive? I think, you know what I think about a lot is the first time I drove my car without a parent there. And I did not, for whatever reason, first place I went to pick up 4 of my friends. I have I'm driving a 2-door Toyota, right? 4 of my friends in the car, plus me. There's 5 of us. There's maybe 3.5, 4 seats, right? And I, for whatever reason, at 16, did not understand the concept of speed bumps. And I did not slow down at all. Not for the first one, not for the second one. And then when their head started hitting the ceiling and I looked
Oh
back,
my gosh.
I was like,
Their head
I'm
started
so sorry, you guys. Yeah. And I was like, how did I survive this? Also, like, I would
How
like,
did you pass your driver's test first?
in Florida, all you got to do is avoid the alligators. That's it. That's the only trick. But yeah, how did I survive stuff like that? Or like,
I know,
you know,
that
whatever.
freaks me out.
What were some like near
I
death
had a
experiences?
moped in
Ooh.
Hawaii, and I got in a few accidents on my moped. I got hit by a car once where I literally flew over the hood of the car, and I really thought, like, I think I might die right now. And I landed on my backpack, which had my laptop in it, and my laptop got crushed. But I remember the first thing I did, which is so vain, was to touch my face to make sure my face was okay.
Oh my God.
Because my sister had gotten in an accident and cut her chin open on her moped. And I just was like, and I just had like road rash all over and stuff. But that freaks me out. I used to like stand on the seat of my moped and drive
Yeah.
standing on it. I do like an air like on one foot. I do stupid stuff like that. In college, I had a moped and I had an abortion, and I really regret the moped. I got in a moped accident and I have a scar on my hip from the moped accident. And as I get more pregnant, the scar becomes bigger and bigger. And my husband and I were sitting there watching the baby move around in my stomach, and he goes, "Wow, your abortion scar is really stretched out." And that is why I think that men should not be in charge of women's health care.
Man, you were so cool before you developed that frontal lobe.
I know, I really was. I was like a fun party girl. I went to jail all the time. I was like,
She's back. She's back, guys.
She's back. She's going to shoot out another one.
my frontal lobe really fucked me.
Dude, you're popular in all the crazy places. Hospitals, jails,
It's true.
stand-up comedy clubs. Before we take off, where can people find you on social media?
My Instagram is I am Brittany Ross.
Yes, you are.
That's what I am on all the things.
Okay, solid.
All the things.
All the things.
Also, you have a favorite, one of our favorite jokes. My favorite joke and Todd's favorite joke is that you do a bit where you're like, you may see me as the bait.
Oh, the decoy from To Catch a Predator.
I texted Peter. I was like, wait, is that true?
It's great.
I knew I
That's
recognized
not
her.
true, but like it pretty much should be. I mean, I was playing so young for so long that I felt like that's what I was doing, you know?
One of the claims of fame to my hometown, Cape Coral, that I was just telling you about, other than the big sand hills, is we had the To Catch a Predator, the guy with the big grass monster costume, if you remember that. This guy dressed, he stood up like this against like a wall, like Homer Simpson.
No way.
Yeah, and then he as the predators would exit, he would jump out and catch them. Yeah, that was my hometown. That's our ingenuity, right?
Caught by grass.
From the minds that brought you that come the beanbag toy. Last thing, we like to ask all of our guests this. This is funny as people you've never heard of. Is there someone you think we should feature on this program?
A stand-up? A funny
Anybody.
stand-up?
Anyone from the world of
Anybody?
comedy.
Anyone funny? Yeah. If your mother-in-law is funny, let's bring
My
her in.
friend Justin Johnson is hilarious.
Yes.
He makes me laugh really hard. He's my best friend Alex's husband.
Okay.
And he was he's like an improviser, comedy guy, and he is just so, you know, people who have like a weird funny, like their funny is so, their worldview is so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like a quiet bunny.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, good.
Makes me like laugh very hard.
Well, this is a podcast, so I hope he'll be talking. But
Yeah, he'll talk. Also, I have another friend who's funny. Her name's Talia.
Talia.
Talia Tibin. She's
Okay.
hilarious. She's an improviser. She
Great.
also has want me to list a few more?
Yeah.
Serena Fiallo is one of my friends who's hilarious.
Okay.
All right. Sorry to my other friends, so I'm not going to list. Those are the ones who popped into my mind right now.
Those are the
Who
three
make
people.
me laugh the hardest.
Well, fantastic. Well, good. It's good to laugh. And Britt, thanks so much for
Yeah,
joining us
thanks for
today.
having
Really
me. This
appreciate
was
your time.
fun.
Folks, this has been Funniest People You've Never Heard of. That's Brittany Ross. Thanks so much for joining us today. And if you want some more exclusive content, join us on Patreon. Thanks so much for listening and watching. See you next time. Bye. Funniest People You've Never Heard of is a production of Toby or Not Toby Productions. Executive producer Todd Fields, producer and host Peter Murphy. Studio space provided by Third Wheel. Theme song written and performed by Justin Fields. Sponsored by Bamco, more than just merch. Don't forget to like and subscribe and find us on Patreon for exclusive content.